I remember back, I think 28, I went to do a photo shoot, and for some reason I started getting interested or sort of developing that love for photography. But then, but I didn't, at that particular point, I didn't do anything because I was still working. But there was a time when I used to travel a lot with my friends from Squatter Camp, Abo, Flaba, you know, well, the whole group is Squatter Camp. So I used to take them a lot of images whenever we go on tours. And the manager asked me, he's like, hey, why don't you do photography? Because like I see that you take beautiful images all the time whenever we're on the road. Then I said, yeah, maybe I will do it. But then at some point, you know what, I just sort of decided and made that choice to do photography. And I can remember even my first camera, it was a D300, a Nikon one. So ever since then I started running with it. I started taking pictures, but then back then it was mainly street photography. And I started getting to studio, and I was like literally doing studio. I started doing more studio shoots. And yeah, basically it's that. I just ran with it. And now I want to get to a point whereby now I want to be known as that photographer from Alex, you know? So yeah, that's what I inspire to get to that point, you know what I mean? Even though I'm still work in progress. Where do I start in terms of the challenges that I face? Well, with photography, for me, I feel like it's something that when you start, it's a bit of a challenge because like you need to buy your own equipment to be able to get to be able to do your own stuff, you know. But literally, when I started off, I started renting out equipment, and I realized that I was spending so much money just from rental. So at some point, I decided to get to a point whereby I start buying my own equipment. Even now, I'm still sort of trying to get myself there. But so whenever I do a gig, I make sure that I take a certain percentage and buy whatever today. Let's say, for example, if I need an umbrella, I'll buy an umbrella today. And then the next shoot that I do, I'll buy myself some, like I'll buy a camera or either stands. But then I literally give myself that time to save up money. Whatever profit that I make, I have to buy at least one equipment for my studio, or yeah, just mainly for that, so that I can really have my own stuff, and in the long run being able to not hire out stuff but then have them for my have them in my studio, you know what I mean?
Yes, I should have. What's enough?
Basically, I just realized that people consider me as a studio photographer, but then, to be honest, I'm one person that doesn't like to be categorized as this particular type of photography. Yes, it just so happened that I was drawn into studio photography mainly because of business, but then what I love doing wedding photography. But my main one that I love when it comes to studio, it's doing all these low key lights photography, whether I use my a black backdrop with a soft box. Those are the type of photo shoots that I like. But then, but lately I've been doing a whole lot of wide backdrop photo shoots, you know. But which I still enjoy though. But then I love photography. I want to get to a point whereby I do almost everything, like sports photography, wildlife photography. Also, what is it? Yeah, but mainly I don't want to limit myself, basically. Sure. Perseverance. You know, if you love something like the way I love photography, you shouldn't give up, basically, irrespective that you might face certain challenges, but then just persevere, be determined, and try to be different as a photographer also, you know, and do not become stagnant, and like literally learn something. I always learn different things all the time, you know. It's like I'm a work in progress, to be honest. I'm one person in particular that doesn't like settling for one thing. I always want to do something different. I always try to do something, even though I didn't go to school for photography, but then I've always challenged myself by learning different things from different people, you know. And I get ideas from, like, I love working with other photographers. That's one thing that keeps me going, and that's how I get to learn what I want to learn, you know. And then, yeah, basically that. I realized that I like using Facebook a lot, you know, but then I also have a website which is www.planl.co.za, and if you want like a shortcut, or like if you want to access my images very quickly, you can either go to my my Instagram account, which is PlanL Production, but basically I use social media platforms, and yeah, and my website. That's how you can get hold of me.